Now, before we jump into today's My Team episode, I want to give a massive shout out to Velocidade or Velocidade Alta, one of my Brazilian colleagues in the F1 YouTube space, of course, also part of Veloce. He gave me a massive shout out yesterday, so I want to give one back to him. If you guys love F1 content and you watch it in Portuguese or Brazilian or speak those two languages, then he is the man for you. He's chasing down 100k subs, so go give him a sub, tell him I sent you, and show him some love. With that said, we are here for another My Team episode, and today we're here for the Japanese Grand Prix. Now in the background you can see the weather forecast this weekend looks to be quite wet for the race, especially towards the end, so that could be potentially quite spicy. Now with the weekend underway, you can see here we have upgrades on the car, and we've taken a big step forward. We are now the 5th best team on the grid, and pretty much there. You know, we can't do much more with the upgrades. The car is about maxed out. All we have left to do is braking upgrades, which I don't really want to have to do unless I absolutely have to, if it means my teammate is going to perform better. So yeah, with that said, we're going to jump into Q1. Now, as we jump into Q1 then, soft tyres on the wagon, and we get our qualifying underway with a bit of a moment as we struggle for grip on the curbs. And if you guys have driven Suzuka, you'll know that it's very risky to hit the curbs around here because they are so deadly, especially through the S section. They can spin you off in an instant. So yeah, I've done the first section. I decided to back out and try to go for a second push lap. So we're going to turn the car and engine down, and we're going to prepare a second push lap, which is exactly what we've done. And you can see here now towards the Casio Triangle, the final chicane, making our way towards the end of our push lap here, and we're going to see what this first lap is going to give us. DRS open across the line, and it's a 24.4, and we go P16 behind Michael Schumacher and Matsushita, ahead of both Williams. Eventually, by the end of Q1, it was P17. Michael currently sitting in P15, so we're going to have to improve, and we're going to have to work to get into Q2. So through the final chicane, getting the power down here as we start our final lap. We're going to commit here as we open DRS wide open on the pit straight down towards turn number 1, and we're going to also line that up with turn 2. So you want to try and stay tight. That's the key thing here. I run a little bit wide. Luckily we still manage to get the apex into the S's, carrying the speed here, this time being risky with the curbs but not being too greedy and using too much of it. Making our way through the Dunlop curve now, the left-hander up the hill, carrying the speed on the exit as we're about a 10th up so far in the first sector. Into the Degners, carrying that speed and then braking into Degner 2. Important here to carry some nice traction on exit as we now make our way up the hill towards the hairpin. Straight line brake, use the camber and try to get the car turned in on the nose. Third gear, easy on the traction out of here as we keep the car tight to the right for the shortest run down to Spoon Curve. Brake at about the 50-meter board, down to 6th gear, possibly 5th, as we try to carry the speed. Second part of Spoon, important here to really use all the track exit as you carry that speed down the hill along the back straight. A little bit of an adjustment on the brake bias as we go from 50 to 51 for the brake zone here into the final chicane. Flat out through 130R, spot your braking, bang on the 100, down to 3rd gear, and take plenty of inside curb and take a bollard with you if you feel necessary. Traction up, keep the car tight to the right, across the line we go. We improve by 3/10 going purple in sector 3, and we move up into P14.
Left in the session.
Now then, is that going to be enough into Q2? Yes it is, and not just that, Michael Schumacher, for the first time this season, is into Q2. He actually finished ahead of us with a 24.1, so fair play. We did a higher 1, he did a low 1, nearly a 10th difference. Into Q2 though, scrub set of soft tyres on for this first run, and we're going to see what we do. Across the line, 24.3, which is a bit slower than I would have hoped for, but I was quite slow and cautious through the S section. And now then, end of Q2, my final run in this session. We're going to give it everything, and we're going to see where we can finish. Starting the lap then, into turn 1 and turn 2 again. Keep it tight. Like I said, this time we do a better job of getting the apex into 2, but we run a bit wide and pick up some understeer on the exit, which loses us about half a 10th. But then through the S's, we absolutely nail these. We hook it all up, but then right on that left-hander, we take a bit too much inside curb, hit the wall, and pick up wing damage, which is going to put an end to our session. Unfortunately, not much I could have done. I just tapped the curb, but you know, it's a combination of hitting the curb, the amount of throttle you have on, the amount of brake you have on. If you don't have the right amount, you're going to spin, and it's so sensitive, and unfortunately the car goes round. So yeah, disappointing. P16 for us, which will become P14 because Tsunoda and Michael Schumacher have 5-place grid penalties. So yeah, in reflection, the best we could have done was P15. I think maybe we could have got Stroll for P14 on a perfect lap. That would have been the ideal scenario. But even then, I think P13 at best with the penalties would have been where we start the race. So not too disappointed, but definitely work to do in the race as we're going to start from P14 at least. So yeah, that's it for qualifying. We're now going to move into the race for the Japanese Grand Prix. And by the way, a race we have to win because we are 97 points off the top of the championship and there's 100 points up for grabs with 4 races to go. So this is a must win.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Perez, Gasly, Carlos Sainz, and Leclerc, Russell, Bottas, Ricciardo, and Antonio Giovinazzi, Vettel, Ocon, Martinez, and Matsushita, Lundgaard, Latifi, Mick Schumacher, and Nikita Mazepin. Stroll, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Eilert, Tsunoda, and Michael Schumacher. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Now then, we have a very, very tasty race on our hands because we are P13, but as we've seen on the forecast all weekend, rain in the race, and quite a lot of it, especially towards the end. So it might arrive earlier, it might arrive later. Either way, we're going to gamble. So we're going to start on the soft tyres. I'm going to try and stretch them out all the way until the rain. How long can we go realistically? We're looking at 11 laps. Will that be enough? Who knows? Time will tell. Fuel-wise, I'm going to gamble as well. I'm going to go 2 laps under. I'm going to send it and see what happens. We've got to risk. We're P13. We've got to go for it. The soft tyres are going to help because it should enable us to push and hopefully be aggressive on the first lap. And yeah, the target for this one, I'd like to say a podium, but realistically, top 5. So let's jump into it and let's try and send it and see if we can try and recover some points in the championship. Well, let's do this then and let's see if we can turn this one around. 5 lights at Japan. And it's lights out. Away we go. Oh, that's a poor start. I tried to get through the gears a bit earlier. Hasn't really worked. We're going to get on the inside though and take at least the inside line into turn 1 and turn 2. Lost the place to Matsushita, but that's okay. We'll try and fight it back as we go into the S's then. Let's see if we can find something here. The AI are going to be going quite slowly. Ricciardo and Vettel side by side. As we're going to try to fight back and get some of these places back because this is not a good start for us. Considering we gambled on softs, we need to be further up and we need to be making up places. So we're going to try and get stuck in straight away, and that's going to start at the hairpin as we struggle with oversteer. Let's see then, how many can we pick off here? It's going to be just Matsushita for now as we have to be a bit more patient with Ocon. Clean exit out of there. What is our straight line speed like? Not very good it seems, as Matsushita re-challenging here. We're going to just cut him off. Seems like we're lacking a bit of straight line speed, which is not ideal, but we'll still try and make it work anyways. Let's drain the battery here on Ocon. Let's try and get him into the chicane. That would be nice if we could do that. Let's get a weather update.
We're expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Ocon on the brakes early, and he's also letting off through 130R. So we're through and up into P12. So end of the first lap, we've gained a place. That's positive. Let's keep chucking it forward. Let's see if we can try and get Vettel and Ricciardo. Next lap is when the AI stop using their battery, so we should be a bit more competitive starting from lap 3. Great hairpin there. Not going to challenge Seb into Spoon as we saw before, but we can challenge into the chicane. So we're going to do that. Just going to set him up through here as we try to get the exit spot on, which we do. Let's go then. Let's try and get Seb. We might actually get before 130R, which would be perfect. Up the inside. We're going to keep the throttle pinned and commit to this. Oh, maybe not. Had to lift warning for track limits, but we've got the move done, and that's what matters as Ricciardo runs it in a bit hot. Might get the 2 for 1 here. Let's see.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Coming through, up the inside. We do run Ricciardo out of road, but we're through and up into the top 10. So a double overtake, clutching up there. Big couple of moves. Not the cleanest, a little bit scruffy, but we've got them done at the consequence of a track limit warning, but still, into the points we go. We can keep pushing forward here. Soft tyres are working well. They're not overheating right now. I did drop my pressures a little bit, so the tyres are hanging in there. But again, we've got to play the long game. It's all about the rain. Well, the pace is what it is right now. I can't catch up to the cars ahead. They're just following a Mercedes who's dragging them along, so I'm losing out on the pit straight and in the first sector. I'll try and do my best to keep fighting, but I need some battles up ahead to give me a chance to fight back, because right now I can't match that kind of pace. I am starting to struggle on overheating tyres, I'm not going to lie. I just can't keep them down. We're pushing a bit too much, but I can't afford to let off, otherwise we're going to lose so much time to the cars ahead, so I'm having to drive on the limit all the time. Good news is that we're not under pressure. Ricciardo's not going to pass me anytime soon because I'm really good in the final sector. It's my strongest one, so just need a bit of luck really with the timing of this rain for us to really get in the race. We've done the hard bit, we've got ourselves into the top 10. Now we need the strategy to pay off.
Green flag.
Someone's had an incident behind. Someone's just broken down, I think. Yeah, I can see on the minimap someone underneath that bridge.
Okay, watch your pace. We've been informed that the safety car is out. There appears to have been an issue with multiple stopped vehicles on the track. Check your MFD
Okay, interesting.
for a new strategy option.
Now this
Some
could be
information on
spicy.
Latifi. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
Okay, Jeffrey done. Like, do you mind, like, can I get a word in? Now this could be interesting. Let's see what the weather is.
Copy that. 5 minutes until rainfall expected. 5 minutes until rain. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Well then, looks like we're
Drop
staying
your
out.
Speed, our delta is too low and we risk a penalty.
Yes,
Slow
Jeff.
your pace
Honestly,
immediately.
Jeff. Just give me a minute to do what I've got to do. We're going to stay out. We're going to commit. We're going to go long. We're not going to box. This could be our chance. We are going to take the lead here, I think. Yes, we do. And we'll see how this works out for us. Verstappen's gone for the hard. Everybody else has gone for the soft. So we're going to have a bit of a tyre offset. Seems like Verstappen has jumped Norris in the pit lane.
Okay, the safety car is coming in this lap. We'll be pacing the field in sector 3. Make sure to respect the delta until the safety car is in the pit lane.
Well, here we go. Restart time. Now, one thing I will say, rain is imminent. So it's not raining yet, but it's about to be. Back on the way we go. Lovely stuff. Right, let's push.
Okay, clear.
Lovely restart. Verstappen's in the hard, so as long as he stays there, we should have a chance of potentially still pulling away on these tyres. They're not terrible. I can manage this. It's actually quite good having Verstappen as a buffer. But now we've got to see when the rain falls. It should be, at any moment now, it should start to come down. So I think this will work out as long as we try to hold track position, which wasn't much of a problem before. So all we've got to do is make sure to try and keep the temperatures under control as long as possible. Well, personal best, good pace. Not quite the fastest lap. That's a little bit further away, but still, you can see Verstappen's not close enough to challenge here. So this is working out beautifully right now. Don't know why Red Bull have done that to Max, but it gives us a chance. I mean, our pace in the rain might be terrible, but hey, listen, at least we've got track position to see and find out for ourselves if we can fight for this win or not, which has suddenly been presented on our table. And here we go. First droplets of rain are falling. Now it's going to be the waiting game and timing things to perfection. Let's see what happens. This is going to be an interesting few laps so far. Track feels absolutely normal, so no reason to panic just yet.
We're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment.
Yeah, I agree with that. Still definitely dries. Gradually getting there. We're having to take a few short gears, short shifts, just to make sure that we're keeping the car under control. The closer together we keep this train of cars, the better, because cars like Mercedes and Red Bull are going to struggle and lose time due to having an early pit box. So it's important that we keep the field compact. Oh, Norris is overtaking Verstappen here. They're both going side by side into 130R. This is going to be spicy. It also may unleash a Lando onto us, which is not ideal. Let's hope Max can stay ahead. Don't think he can though. I think Lando's got that one done. Yes, he has. So Lando's going to be on us soon. We need the track to start to get a bit more wet and the rain to come down a bit more. Lando putting pressure on here. Luckily, this is my strongest part of the track, so I get a chance to get a bit of respite and pull away. The track isn't getting worse. It still feels bone dry. I mean, I'm being a little bit cautious because more than anything, down to tyre wear, I'm struggling my tyres a little bit now. But the AI, I've got no issues. As Lando may have a look here into turn 1. We're not going to be under too much pressure, but he's definitely close. Tyre wear also still increasing, so got to be careful now. I've got about 3 or 4 laps left, so we need the weather to start turning. Oh wow, Pierre Gasly pits. That's interesting. Only Pierre, no, a few others. So possible second stop. Schumacher in. Not for inches though.
Michael is coming in for his stop.
Must be for another set of dryers, but I don't understand. Michael pit under the safety car. Whatever, I'll never understand Michael's strategy and, you know, what's happened on that side of the garage this season. Either way, we've just got Lando for company. Pierre has abandoned ship. Doing a good job right now, making a car as wide as possible. But we need the track to start deteriorating. Oh wow, Lando pits. So, all the soft runners are in again. For some reason, they couldn't make the tyres last, I don't know, but we're all in again, and we're staying out, so we're still in the race lead. We've now got hard runners behind us, including both Red Bulls. Interesting, but not surprised. And they haven't gone to the inters, it's nowhere near wet enough yet. But it is starting to get to that point. And now we're starting to lose the grip a little bit. It's getting there. The lap time pace is showing that. 2.2 off. Also, we're now over 60% on the rears. So we haven't got long left. 3-4 laps tops. Oh, I'm not quite flat through there now. So it is getting there. I reckon the next lap could be the one. We'll do one more. But the track is getting to that point. The grip is running thin. I'm going to stay out one more lap. I've got one more lap in the tyres, around 68 to 69% on the rears. So I can squeeze one more lap out of these. But then we have to bite the bullet for the inters. I wonder if the AI are going to try and get to the end on dryers. I wonder if that's going to be their strategy. We'll go for one more though. Verstappen's going to challenge here, so we're going to have to be careful. Let's see, here he comes. He's running that engine at full power. He's got the DRS, but not quite close enough into turn 1. But I think this is it for us. I've seen enough on these tyres. We've got a yellow. Ricciardo out of the race. I think he's retired. But yeah, the grip is going. It's time for the inters, and we're going to box this lap. Look at this yellow flag. Verstappen less than 2 tenths behind. It's super close. 3.6 off my personal best. I think it's still dry tyres, but I can't go any longer. I have to pit and bite the bullet. So the best we can do is hope the track comes to us in the final 7 laps. But this is it for us. We're done on these tyres. We're going for the inters. And we're going to box. Here we go then. Crucial phase of the race. Have we gambled too much? I probably maybe could have done one more lap, but that's the risk. If you hit 75%, you can get a puncture straight away. And that was 4% of that last lap. So I couldn't gamble. Here we go then. Intermediates.
Exit
Slow
now.
stop, 2.9, but away we go then. Now our hands are in the gods. Will it rain enough?
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Now we're going to rejob behind Seb. We'll have him as a reference in terms of pace. I think we're going to struggle for 1 or 2 laps on these until we start to really turn a corner, I think, in terms of pace. Oh, Leclerc is all over the back of me. I am bleeding lap time, a bit more than I hoped for, to be honest. This rain needs to hurry up. What is the rain doing? Come on, start falling. There was a heavy rain icon on the weather forecast, but I don't see what it's waiting for. Leclerc's going to pass me here comfortably, and Schumacher as well. We're going to start going backwards. Nothing we can do about it. I'll try and hold him off. I might try and bring Schumacher into play. Let's see what we can do. Going to have to lift through here though quite substantially to keep the car in check. Leclerc to the outside though. We'll try and fight him and upset his rhythm a bit. But we are losing a load of time now. This is not convenient anymore. DRS though on Leclerc. We're going to go through. Look at this, 4 wide. We're going to make it 3 wide. And we're going to edge ahead. Schumacher's going to follow through. We're going to take the racing line through here. Ocon trying to squeeze by. I'm going to wave Schumacher through here. I'm going to be a team man and let Michael crack on. I'm going to try and hold up these cars a little bit. But I'm going to be struggling. I'm overheating like crazy. This rain needs to hurry up. My tyres are melting. This rain is not arriving. The gamble hasn't paid off. Should have put under the safety car and taken a set of tyres. Leclerc will get past this time. Nothing I can do about it. But I've let Schumacher get away by 5 seconds. That's the best we can do. Come on, rain. I'm doing my tyres in as well for tyre wear. But I have faith. Come on, all we need is like 3 laps in proper intermediate conditions so we can fight back. I don't think we're going to get back to P1. I think we've accepted that loss unless the rain gets really, really bad. Here comes Ocon. Again, I can't really fight this. The track just hasn't turned, mate. It's embarrassing. Okay, so Tsunoda's going to go as well. No. Okay, I was going to let you go there, mate, but you didn't want to take it. Go on, off you go. For some reason, it's just not happening. It needs to be now. Rain.
Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Don't understand it, mate. I mean, how is this track and these conditions still better on dries and not even soft? We're talking about mediums and hards. How are people still flying? Look at the track. It's shining. It's wet on the surface. I think, having said that, right about now, I think we are actually starting to hit the crossover. I think, finally. I'll get back to that one, but Schumacher is starting to drop away a bit. And there we go. All of a sudden, it's just got wet.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline.
Well, we're going to get 2 full racing laps to salvage something out of this. Let's see what happens. Oh, yellow flag. Here we go. It's starting to happen. It's actually a Schumacher behind.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
Bit of a shame. I was hoping that'd be a car ahead of us, but we may still get some of that. It's turned really quickly.
Green flag.
Now we're so much quicker. It's literally, it's turned within the snap of a finger. All of a sudden now we are right on the back of Tsunoda and Ocon here, are struggling badly for grip. That's 2 cars down. They are, of course, are not going to pit with a lap to go, so we've got a lap here to catch that train of cars heading into the final chicane. There's a lot of cars there, that's a lot of points. Let's try and chase them down. Let's see what we can do. I need it to rain. Hail Mary. Everything. Gods. Make it chuck down.
There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety
Yep,
car right
yep,
now.
yep.
Just be careful.
Yellow flag in the S's. Oh, there's been a big one. A few cars are out. I can see on the minimap. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Lando's out of the race. There's Russell off the track. Sainz out as well. Matsushita out as well. Here we are then on the back of Leclerc, who's struggling for grip. And I think, Schumacher's gone as well. Schumacher right before our eyes. Loads of debris on the track. And we're up to P8 just like that. Strap yourselves in, folks. It's going to be a crazy last lap. The AI can't hold the car on track anymore. Bottas struggling for pace. I don't know where to go. He's got no front wing, but we're going to sweep through. Vettel 9 seconds away. Can we pick up a top 6 finish? It's not over yet. It really isn't. It's fully intermediates now. We are flying on these. What a shame. Michael crashed out of the S's. He could have got some points today. But, oh well. It is what it is. Look at the gap to Vettel though, and Gasly. It's coming down. And to more cars ahead of them. Let's see. I think Max is going to win it. One of the Red Bulls. I think it's going to be Max, surely. No, it's Perez. So Max stacked it. Max is at the front of this train of cars. Look at this. It could come down to a drag race out of the final chicane. Let's see. Trying to carry some speed through here. It's going to be close. Oh, cars are off. Cars are off. Hang on a minute. Verstappen's got no front wing. We can nick this. We can nick this. Yes, we can. P5. Okay.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Another action-packed Japanese Grand Prix comes to an end. And what a magnificent drive to take the win here today. Ant, talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
Well, you know what they say, to finish first you have to finish. And that fact was clear today, with lots of retirements having a big effect on the outcome of the race. As a driver, you tend to keep reliability concerns to the back of your mind and just focus on what's in front of you. But for the teams, races like this can be very stressful.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
Well, I can't lie, this was a crazy race. We salvaged far more than I ever thought we could, to be fair. But P5 for us, and we outscored Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. Now, I can't lie, I'm gutted I didn't win the race, but, you know, we tried it on the strategy, we gambled. I think I could have maybe squeezed out one more lap on the tyres on the softs, but that would have been the absolute maximum. Could it have made a difference at the end? Maybe. We may have got Stroll and Gasly. We could have got a podium, I think. That would have been the maximum. Perez wins it. Giovinazzi P2 for the Alpha. Lance P3 ahead of Gasly. We finish in P5 ahead of Verstappen in P6. Leclerc, Vettel, Leclerc, Russell and Ocon round out top 10. And then missing out the points, Bottas, Schumacher P12. His best finish of the season, I want to say. Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, Lando P16. Matsushita, Sainz, Ricciardo, Latifi, Lundgaard, Eilert, all DNFs in this race. Absolute chaos, pandemonium. We are up to P7. The gap to land at the top is 97 points. Him and Verstappen equal on points. Realistically, we haven't got a chance. 100 points up for grabs in the remaining 4 races, and we have 97 to climb. So it's probably game over, but I'd like to still try and challenge for P3, if not P4. So yeah, in the Constructors, we are P5. We overtake Alpine, which is great. Red Bull take the lead over Mercedes as they're a point clear. And that's your lot heading to the next race. Absolute chaos. Well, let's get through it then. We've got quite a bit to get done. So a triple sponsorship renewal, which we'll go ahead and take care of. Before though, we're going to quickly go to the activities tab and assign all of these because I want to make sure we get them all done. We've got another big chunk of time to get some more upgrades on. So first and foremost, we're going to go for, I think, how many days do we have actually? Let me check. I want to make sure. Okay, we can definitely fit all of this on. So there's no, doesn't matter what we do. So yeah, we'll go for durability team building. We'll go for durability equipment upgrade. We'll go for sponsor event. Then we'll go for second driver press tour. Second driver PR filming, and then second driver weight training. So that's done. We can forget about that. Then on the aero maxed out, durability maxed out, chassis, can we go and do anything else? Not really, except for the brakes. I'll come back to this. Engine wise, fuel efficiency, we'll get that on for now. That means we max out the engine. We're waiting for the turbo size from Ferrari, which should be coming soon actually. But for now, I think that is going to be it. So yeah, the turbo upgrade should arrive before the next race if we're lucky. So let's renew all of these sponsors and let's move on to the next race. Now we have 4 races to go. Brazil, Australia, Jeddah, Abu Dhabi. 100 points on the table. We're going to try and give it everything. Now, before we do, we have 1,240 R&D points. Still want to spend them all? Not really. All of the upgrades have arrived, so right now we are the 5th best team. I could try and push on a bit more to cut the gap to McLaren, Ferrari and Mercedes, but that would mean doing brake upgrades. So yeah, with that said, I think we're going to leave it as it is. In terms of powertrain, you can see here, the turbo size will arrive before the next race. It's the 4th of November right now, so I think this will arrive before the next one. If not the next one, then it'll definitely be at Jeddah. So, yeah, pretty much that's kind of the scenario we're looking at this stage. I'll see what to do, guys. I'll make a decision whether we do the brake upgrade or not, especially heading into Season 6. Either way, it's taken a whole season, but the car is now fully maxed out. So, yeah, the next 4 races, we're going to give it everything and see where we finish. Hopefully you enjoyed the race, though. Absolute chaos in the closing stages. Leave a like if you did, you know, for the chaos, just purely for that alone. Subscribe for more. Again, we're trying to hit 75k by the end of the year, so if you want to help out, I'd massively appreciate it. As always, check out 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already, and a massive shout out to my channel members as always. But cheers for watching, guys, and I'll see all of you in the next one.